Bonsoir à tous et à toutes. Bienvenue pour cette Talking Heads qui nous permet d'accueillir. Please welcome Mr. Béla Tarr, please. Cette soirée a été préparée, et c'est une des premières ici à la Aide, avec une étudiante. Et j'ai le plaisir d'accueillir à côté de nous Sophie Perrier. Sophie. You took off your coat. It's a good sign.
I just took off.
We are going to speak in our best English. Just to let you know, we decided with Sophie to make a selection of excerpts of different films. This selection is, of course, completely subjective. It's not. We have not the time and ambitions to speak about the whole body of your work. We want to approach certain aspects of it. And about this short film, Sophie will begin to make some reflection, ask questions. Sophie, it's up to you.
So, good evening, Béla Tarr. Good evening to you. Welcome. So, this short film we've just seen is called Prologue, and it was made in 2004. It is part of a 25 short film collection made in 25 different European countries. And the whole project is called Visions of Europe, and it was initiated by Lars von Trier. So, first of all, Béla Tarr, what was your motivation to take part to this project?
I don't remember well. I just remember for one thing. That was a year when Hungary joined to the European Union, and some other Eastern European countries like Poland, Czech, Slovakians, Slovenia, and the others. And somehow it was an idea of, the idea came from Denmark and the ZDF. They want to celebrate the European Union, and I just had the feeling we don't have anything what we can celebrate, and I just wanted to show up what we have. And this is a kind of statement about not only political statement, it's statement about the filmmaking. And I have to tell you, even if it is just 5 minutes, it was very important for me to do.
When you decided to make it, did you make this film more as a Hungarian, an East European, or as a European? What was your position in the collection?
My position is I don't have. Of course, I'm Hungarian. I born in Hungary. I grew up in this country, and I belongs to this country. Of course, it's out of question. But you can be European at the same time. It's not And I think the question is universal, not European or Hungarian. It's something which is very important. The most important things, those people has a name, they have faces, they have dignity, they have life, and they have right for a better life. And this was the main issue. I don't know it's Hungarian, European, or what.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the end credits have a very important place in the film. It's almost the second shot of the film. So this is also part of your statement, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. How did you come to this idea precisely, the soup kitchen, the bread line?
Unfortunately, it is a part of our life in Hungary. You can go in Budapest, and we shot this take in the Christmas. But it doesn't matter, unfortunately. It's Christmas or not. And I think it's not new. If you go to New York or if you go to somewhere, you can see around the world homeless people, unemployment people, people without hope, without future, and without chance. It's not a question of filmmaking. It is a question of the life. And you know, when you are a filmmaker, you have to listening for the life, because this is the most important thing.
And when you made the film, did you know the people that we see in the film?
No.
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 Because there is a very strong documentary approach, and I was wondering if there was any setup or.
No, we organized the people because they had to agree. We are filming them because of the rights, their personalities and something. But the main issue is really, believe me, it wasn't the filmmaking. The filmmaking, it was just a secondary thing.
And regarding the music, what was your intention? Because indeed it's very repetitive, like a circle. Is that what you wanted to show with the music?
Oh yeah, I think best if we talk about the whole filming. I'm working with Mihály Víg, the composer. We did it our first experience. It was 1983, and it's almost 31 years. And you know, he's a person who understands very much what we want to do, and he understood very much this, and he just goes to the studio and he just recording something he's giving us, and it's all the time perfect, because we have the same point of view how we watch the world.
And did he compose the music before the film or afterward?
It was before.
It's always like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By the way, if anyone wants to ask a question, feel free to do it anytime. Okay.
In French, intervenez à tout moment, des questions, des remarques. Nous avons quelques idées avec Sophie pour nous guider dans cette soirée, mais intervenez vraiment, vous êtes les bienvenus. Et on va parler de la question du spectateur. We are going to speak about the spectator in your films, but anytime, please intervene. You want to?
Maybe a question, because you said at the beginning that it was a statement, but not only a political statement, but also a statement about filmmaking. And answering to the question, you stress out the political involvement of the film. So in which way is it also a statement about filmmaking?
Somehow it's a kind of essence of my films, long take, when you, of course it's long, but not because I like to make the long takes. When you are traveling with the camera, you saw one face, the next one, the next one, the next one, and every face is telling to you something. And it's And of course, you know, how I do the film, it's how I did the film, is this. And it's really just a kind of summary.
Could you be a little bit more explicit in terms of rhythm? How do you find the right rhythm in the traveling in order to, for us spectators to see each face and to get close somehow to each of them?
It was easy because the music, it was ready. And we just played the music.
Are these persons actors or playing their own role? All these persons we see, who are these persons? You make a
They are
casting?
homeless people from Budapest.
So you make a casting?
No, because it's no reason to do casting because they are there, and you find them. I did not do any casting because we just wanted to punching you. We just wanted to tell you, hey, those people are alive.
And this young lady giving the food and the drinks?
Yeah, she was from this kind of Caritas organization. She was there. Of course, I loved her very much because her smile gives you something which is make it the whole thing a little bit upper.
She's not an actress. You found her there.
No, she's not an actress. She's just doing this. But if you see all my movies, sometimes you can see some actors, but sometimes you can see real people. It's not a question of what is their profession or what is, you know. No, the question is the personality of her or him who is front of us, front of the camera, and when we see them, what we feel, how, you know, it's so simple. The filmmaking is very simple, believe me.
I hope all the students will get the point. I think we could watch a sequence of a film. It's Family Nest. We will speak about it after the screening, but would you like to introduce to say something about this film, which is your first film?
Okay. Let's see from the beginning, because otherwise we are just jumping to the fragments and it will be not clear. The Family Nest. I was 22 years old, or young. I just saw a family which it was kicked out. They scouted the flat, and the police kicked out them. And I wanted to shoot an 8mm something about them. This police action, of course, they did not allow me. And by the end, I was full of anger. I was full of emotions. And I said, I have to do something. And I loved the cinema. And I went to the cinema and I saw all the time bad, fake stories, bad, fake colors, bad, fake actors. Everything, it was wrong, not true. And I had the feeling, here is the reality, and the cinema, we see different things. And I just wanted to punching you when I was 22. And I just wanted to tell you, hey man, this is the reality. You have to see, you have to do something. And that was the reason why I made the Family Nest when I was 22. Of course, later, I still have, as you see, my social sensibility, but of course, the way of the filmmaking, film by film, it became more deeper and more be slowly a little bit different, but the main issue is all the time the same. Listening for the life, listening for the people, try to understand them and try to love them, do not judge them, and just to be with them. And if you are with them, in this case, you can show a lot of things. You can have it.
Yes, watch the excerpt.
Tanácsi lakásban laknak?
Anyósoméknál lakunk most.
Hányan laknak abban a lakásban?
Hát nagyon sokan lakunk abban a lakásban. Legalább 9-en, szoba, konyha. És ezért jöttem érdeklődni, hogy mégis most már valamit...
Őnek, ha kapnának lakást, hányan költöznének?
Én, a férjem és a gyerek.
Tehát 3-an költöznének,
Igen.
szobakonyhás lakásban laknak, komfort nélküli a lakás, ugye?
Igen, igen.
Hát kérem szépen, ebben az évben nem tudunk önöknek semmilyen lakást adni. A pontszámok alapján valószínűleg jövőre sem. Elképzelhető, hogy 79-80-ban lakást tudunk adni, nem végleges elhelyezés, szobakonyhás átmeneti elhelyezés csak.
De ezt nem értem vissza, férjem, amikor fent voltam múlt héten, azt mondták, ha tudunk üres lakást, igényeljük, kérjük.
Kérem szépen, címre való igénylést bizonyára ilyet senki nem mondott itt, a jogszabály tiltja. Tehát nem lehet olyat mondani, kérem, hogy én tudok egy üres lakást, mi több száz üres lakást tudunk, és mégsem.
Nem értem azért egy kicsikét legalább biztatnák az embert. 80-ig mit csinálnak, 80-ban már el fognak temetni, ha így élünk.
Kérem szépen.
Hát a házasságom már odáig jutott, hogy tönkre megy. Hát valamit, nem igaz, hogy valamit nem tudnak csinálni.
Kérem szépen, mi csak annak tudunk lakást adni. Ennek a lakásigénylésnek van egy súlyossági mutatója.
Igen.
14 000 lakásigénylés van ide bekódolva. Mit szólnának azok a családok, akiknek dupla annyi a súlyossági mutatója, mint önöknek, mert nem 75-ben
is tudok, hogy elfoglalták a lakást.
Ki is rakjuk minden esetben.
Nem rakták ki, már 2 éve benne van.
Az kizárt dolog, kérem.
Nem kizárt dolog, ez tény is való.
Jó, tessék nekem nevet és címet mondani akkor.
Nem, de hogyha esetleg ideiglenesen csak.
Ideiglenesen, szobakonyhás lakást, átmeneti lakást.
Nem kell nekem szobakonyha, csak onnan tudnák megszabadulni.
Kérem szépen, szobakonyhának nem tudunk adni szükséglakást, ami már meglévő szükséglakást, igénylőnek nem tudunk adni.
Nem igaz,
kérem
hogy
szépen,
nem
én megértek
valami.
mindent. Én mindent megértek,
hát
mert mondja.
Innen a székből megértenek mindent. Én ezt
nem a
is
székből
aláírom.
értem meg, kérem szépen. Nem a székből, hanem az, hogy látok naponta 50 olyan esetet, mint az öné.
50-et? Akkor csak azt kérném magától, egyszer élné bele magát abba, hogy nem akkor feküdhet le, amikor akar, nem akkor elhet, amikor
kérem
akar.
Szépen, én nem azért kapom a fizetésemet, hogy beleéljem magam az ön helyzetébe.
Én ezt aláírom, hogy maga nem azért kapja a fizetését, de értse meg, hogy nekünk is szükségünk van valamire.
Kérem szépen, azért adták be a lakásigénylést,
azért adtuk, és azért járok.
a többi 14 000 igénylést azért adtak.
Gondolom, hogy az is éppen úgy aggódik, és éppen olyan körülmények között lehet
igen,
mindig.
és akkor mit mondjak annak, hogyha önnek azt mondom, kérem szépen felviszük névjegyzékre, ön kap egy lakást. Mit mondjak annak az igénylőnek?
Én nem ezt kértem, vizsgálják felül, hogy melyik nehezebb, melyik súlyosabb.
Kérem szépen, mi elfogadjuk azt, amit ön beír a lakásigénylésébe. Az van ide bekódolva, egy számítógép azt dolgozza fel.
Nem értem, hétről hétre hitegetnek. Az egyik előadó...
Kérem szépen, ez most hitegetésnek tűnt ön elő?
Nem, ez nem, mert ez konkrétan nemet mondtak, most nem.
Így van.
Addigra talán még egy villamos is jut, hogy fölakasztom magam, mert tönkre megy az életem. Ilyen is van.
Kérem
és
szépen.
akkor már hiába...
Mi lakásokkal gazdálkodunk csak.
Én elhiszem magának, hogy lakásokkal gazdálkodik. De értse meg, hogy ezt most már valahogy el kéne, hogy én nem tudom, hol a férjem jön ide, hol én...
Feleslegesen. Minden évben egyszer kerülnek feldolgozásra a lakásigénylések.
Akkor ezek szerint hiába járunk ide minden héten.
Teljesen,
csak egy évben
szépen.
egyszer jöjjek, akkor is azt mondják, hogy minek jöttem még, meg csak
Kérem
jövőre egy
szépen.
pontot kapunk.
Nem egy pontot,
Akkor már 2, mert 75
még
óta
2
bent
sem,
a
kérem,
lakásigénylés.
1/10 növekszik minden évben a lakásigénylés, valamint a Budapesten lakás. 1/10.
De akkor azokat meg a fene megeszi ott azokat a házakat? Azok ott az esőverte, ablak nincs, ajtó nincs, csak azért, hogy ott üresen áll. Hát ez vagy nem maguknak ez pénz, hogy utána meg új bottal tarozzák. Hát belerakok egy embert, és akkor addig, ameddig tudok, benne hagyom, azt egyszer majd csak lesz valami.
Kérem szépen. Én más sajnos nem tudok önnek mondani.
Én elhiszem, hogy maga nem tud mondani valamit, de írjon rá valamit, vagy csináljanak
Miért írnak
valamit.
rá, kérem szépen? Nem írok én erre rá semmit. Én elmondtam önnek, ami jelen pillanatban a helyzet.
Ezt ugyanezt elmondják minden héten kibőgöm itt magam, és utána kidobnak.
Kérem szépen, és abban lesz lakása önnek, hogy bőg?
És annyira oda vannak a népesedés politika, meg így a gyerek, úgy a családtervezés, aztán végül minden házasság felromlik.
Kérem
ez
szépen.
véget, mert nincs lakása, meg így a fiatalok,
attól, hogy
úgy a
ezt itt
fiatalok.
elmondja nekünk változatlanul ugyanannyi lakásunk lesz.
Tudom,
és
hogy maga
annak
innen a székből nem érti meg, én se érteném meg, és sehonnan nem érteném meg, ha nem élnék benne. Ezért kérném, hogy azt mondod, hogy jöjjenek le és nézzék meg, hogy mi van.
Kérem szépen, mi akkor
ne
megyünk.
csak a házfelügyelő jöjjön oda, amikor cirkuszok, meg veszekedések vannak, meg verekedések, akkor az is oda tud jönni, és akkor föl tud jönni panaszt tenni a tanácsnál. Mert ebbe a családba ez van, mert ezek ilyen sokan vannak, és nem tudnak élni egymás mellett. Végig nem lehet így élni egy életen keresztül.
Nem, kérem szépen, ezért adta be a lakásigénylést, és ezért próbál meg lakást kapni. És lakást is fog kapni.
80-ba, vagy 90-be, vagy amikor éppen az ember...
Amikor sorra kerül, kérem, pontosan akkor. Egy perccel sem előbb, és egy perccel sem később.
Igen, és akkor ezek a lakások tovább rohadnak, ott a másik meg megdőlik. Mert ezek mind üresen állnak.
Nem maradnak az idők végezetéig üresen, kérem.
Nem, mert biztos össze fognak dőlni a sok házástól, nem, hogy odaadnák legalább egy mosókonyát, vagy bálnom
Kérem
is
szépen, én már elmondtam egy párszor, ami a mi lehetőségünk, tessék ezt tudomásul venni. Nem tudunk ennek mást mondani jelen pillanatban. Nem rajtunk múlik, megértjük, de nem tudunk segíteni. Jó, kérem szépen. Én nem tudok sajnos mást mondani ennek.
Én sem tudnák magának mit mondani, az biztos, hogy ilyen
Tessék a
helyzet.
lakásigénylés.
Azt hiszem, hogy a jövő héten ugyanígy találkozunk, és szomorítani fogom magát.
Tessék.
Szerintem.
Viszontlátásra.
Of course, it would be very interesting to know how you wrote this kind of scene, the dialogues, how you asked the actors or non-actors to say these sentences.
Okay, I think this scene is very important in this film, but the most important thing in this film is the whole atmosphere and the life of the family and how they are living together, how all of conflicts and all of problems, and somehow if you have to see the film from the beginning till the end.
Tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, Cinéma du Grutier,
Because
demain 8 heures.
this is the most peaceful scene when everybody is very calm and they are just try to convince each other. When, as I told you, that's time I hated the films because the films were fake, and I said, okay, let's shoot a movie with real people, without written dialogues, without script, without just, we have some key situations and go and shoot with the 60mm handheld camera, bad cuts, and just to do it a very rough, ugly, dirty movie like How is the Life. And that was what I want. And, you know, it wasn't any effort to convince them. It's because we were together. And I was asking them, please come and do this film together. And we did it. And we became friends. And you know, if they trust you and you trust them, and it's normal, really. And the whole film, it was incredibly cheap because it was only 5 shooting days, and no one get any penny. Nobody had salary or nothing. We were just shooting, working. And we had only one car, and we put everything in the car, and we went there. And it was really the cheapest film, I think, around the world. But you know, because we had just energy. And I just wanted to show them how they are and do not hiding anything.
So this film will be shown tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Cinéma du Grutli. And Béla will be there for discussion after the screening.
Yeah, but you have to understand this is really the very beginning. I wanted to, because we were talking about why, and I proposed for tomorrow this film, because you have to understand, everybody's talking about my late movies and art and something, but you have to understand the way from here till to the touring horse, because it was a long way.
That is a journey for tonight. We try to have some steps with you.
Yes.
You have to do with me 34 years.
Yes, maybe just so that you understand, maybe I just make a small summary of the film so that you can also understand the scene you've just seen. So the film depicts the difficult life of a young married woman living with her husband and her daughter under the roof of her parents-in-law in a very small apartment. And her only dream is to find an apartment for her family and herself. So, just so that you understand what we've just seen.
Are you sure?
Sophie,
maybe
be
it
careful.
helps.
Really, I just asking you, are you sure this film is about this?
No, it's much larger, but we don't have a lot of time.
No.
So.
You, please never tell. You know what is the film? Picture, sound, human eyes. Not a story, and please never tell to anyone what is the story.
Okay.
Okay, never do, because the story is just something what you have to forget, because you have a story, and but when if you want, you can write a script, because sometimes the producers and the bankers need the script because they believe if they read something, it's a kind of guarantee. Of course, it's surely not guarantee for anything, because you know what is the film. When you are going to when you do your casting, when you decide who will be on the screen, when you choose your location, when you see the face of the location and what is telling itself, and and then it's became everything real, and you have to forget your story because you have just the reality, and it means you have to tell to your actors, you are coming from there, he's sitting here, and you want something from him, and this fucking man doesn't want the same like you. And then you have immediately a scene. And the question is how you are filming this scene. And it's not a story, because we can't do anything with the story in the location.
Okay, fine. I will not tell the story anymore.
Thank
I got
you.
a lesson.
Just to let us know, you were 22 years old. What do you know about cinema and culture in general at that time? You spoke about these ugly films you've seen in the theaters, but did you have access to films from the Nouvelle Vague, from French, German films, from Japanese films, American films? What have you seen at that time?
Hungary, it was a closed country because it was called communist time, and we had very few films. Of course, I saw something when I was in high school. I saw about the Souvre, and I saw some basic stuff, but honestly, I did not care about the films. Really.
Even the good ones.
Even the good ones, yeah. And I'm still the same. I have to tell you, to watching a movie,
What does that mean? Ay. Go ahead.
It's effort. You know, I like to see really good movies, but you can see really good movies once in a decade.
Could you mention the last one you've seen?
I will tell you when we go out.
From what family are you coming? Are you coming from an artistic, intellectual milieu family
We
team?
could say small bourgeois family, and my parents were busy enough, and they separated when I was a kid, and somehow I grew up, I don't know where, on the street and with my friends, and no, it's not coming from the family. The film is not coming from the family.
From the family, I don't know how to say. You say your parents divorced as kind of family disaster. We find
No, it wasn't disaster.
But did they support you when you decided to make films?
No.
No.
When I did it my first, I was 22. And then afterwards I went to the film school, because otherwise I cannot do it my second one, because you needed this time a kind of diploma or something like that for to be a filmmaker, which is so stupid. I did not understand why. And I went to the film school, and I had a really good professor who allowed me to not to go to the school, just to go and shoot my next movie. And he said to me very clearly, you can come and listening for us, but you will learn much more from your own mistakes. And he was right. And that's the reason why I'm doing now a film school.
Yes, we'll speak about the film school. You're director of, at the end of this discussion. Did you finish your studies at the film school at that time?
Yeah, by the end, I got a diploma. Yeah, but I did 2 movies during of the school. Can you believe how much time what I spent there?
How many years?
The school is 4 years. That time it was 4 years. Now it's worse, because the Bologna system says 3 years BA, 2 years MA, and then a 3 years PhD. Poor students.
You do not agree with this system?
No.
It's
No, because it's so stupid. Maybe someone needs 1 year, someone needs 50 years. You know, it's really, we are not, you know what is the problem? If we are making rules, we say, okay, this is the frame, but you know, we are different. Someone needs less time, someone needs more time. It's not a judgment. It's really not a judgment. Just we are different. And we have different sensibility, we need different timing. You know, we are human beings. And the society says so clearly, you have 3 years for this. Please do.
And you're doing that in Sarajevo?
We are tricky guys to find a way how we are managing this situation, but officially, yeah.
Okay.
But at that time, when you were 22, what kind of advice you wish someone gave you and no one did? for filmmaking? Is it something that you wish you would know, you know and you didn't know by this time?
Once I met with Jean-Luc Godard when I was 24. And for me, he was a hero. And he was just sitting at the table. He was eating his cigar. And I was asking him, how did you do this? And how did you do? And he said, you just did it. And you know, it looks very cynical, but on the other hand, now I understand what he said, because, you know, every filmmaker is different, fortunately. And everybody has a different style. Everybody has a different point of view. And everybody has different cultural background, history. And, you know, it's the world, fortunately, so rich and so colorful. And we have to protect the differences. And we have to understand one thing. A real filmmaker has his own language. When you see a frame from Fellini, you know immediately this film made by him. And you do not mixing with Antonioni, because he has different language. And, you know, the main, I was believed I can learn something from Godard, but it wasn't possible because he can say only one thing, how he did. But it's useless for me because I have to do different things. Because I'm different and I have, my language has to be different than his language. And this is the reason why by the end I understood I was so romantic and I wanted to get advice. Of course, he did not give me. He was clever enough not to do stupidity. And, you know, it's really the most important things. We have to protect, and now I have to talk about the school, because we have to protect the young people's differences. We cannot make them equal. We cannot push up someone who is lower, and we cannot push down someone who is upper. It's stupid. We have to protect, because maybe he is capable to do different things than the other. And I will be happy if they find their own language. And then it's okay. This is my goal. And that was my goal all the time, to find my language. Or, you know what, I did not want to find because I did not care about. I was just doing the films. And after the films, I did it, the family nest. And then afterwards came a question, how can I go deeper? And because it's okay, the family nest is a kind of drama. But I was interested, can we do it a kind of epical form, or how we can, like a novel or something like that, and that's generated, I was thinking about, and then it's generated the second film, The Outsider. And then afterwards I was thinking how could be this style if I'm working with professional actors. And then I did in my third one. And you know, it's step by step, film by film, your style is moving and going somewhere. And it's, but if you are listening for your style, in this case, it could be empty. But if you have a problem and you did not care about the style, in this case you will find the right style and the right way.
Could we have a look in your third film? Do you agree? Because he told me just before he didn't want to see so many excerpts, and I think it's, in contrary, it's very interesting.
Because everybody knows the films, there's no reason to show clips.
It's not. It's more than a clip. It's really a piece of a film. It's not a clip.
Yeah,
so
but please show the dance.
The dance.
Yeah, sure. Because I like the dance scenes.
Now we'll see another kind of dance, a dramatic dance beginning. Huh? Let's. You are our guest. So we are
Okay,
staging a little bit. Okay.
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 Show
Let's go.
something.
csinálsz, nem érted? Úgyhogy hova mész? Hova el? Hova el, nem érted? Hova el? Mi az, hogy el? Hát nem érted, azt kérdem, hova el? Mi az, hogy el? Elmegyek, hova el?
Tedd a gyereket!
Majd elteszem, ha akarom. Hova el? Mi az, hogy el? Hogy el? Egészen el?
Egész.
Hogy egészen el? Hogy képzeled, csak fogod magad, azt mondod, elmegyek?
Jó.
Várjál, már lerakom. Azért már hallod? Hogy el? Nem érted? Azt kérdem, hova el, hogy el? Mi az, hogy el? Hogy maradjak nyugton? Fogod magad, bejelented, azt mondod, elmegyek? Mi az, hogy elmegyek? Az mi az, hogy elmegyek? Azt kérdeztem, mi az, hogy elmegyek? Azt kérdeztem, mi az, hogy
Mi van, meguntad az egészet, és kiszállsz a buliból? Fogod magad, és kiszállsz!
Itt marad a lakás, szép.
És én velem inni azt, hogy itt marad a lakás, nem kell! Nem kell a lakás! Azt mondod, fogod magad, elmegyek, és én hova menjek? Ha én meguntam, én hova mehetek el, azt mondd meg! Nem, úgy kézzel enni.
Enni!
Nem, enni, nem.
Engedjem!
Normális olyat mondd meg!
I will let Béla Tarr introduce his film.
Now she has no courage to say any word anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to introduce anything because this is the beginning of the film, and you can see it's just a kind of introduction. You can see the people, and if you like them, you stay in the cinema and you will watch it them. If you don't like them, in this case, go home. It's very simple. I'm not cynical, you know. Somehow I like very much the perfect and clean overtures when you can make a deal with the audience and you can tell them so clearly that's what you will see. And you have to introduce the main characters, you have to explain how will be. It's a kind of deal. And then if they like it, they stay. If they don't like, they can leave. But it's really important. It was all the time important for me to somehow make it very clear. What about? And somehow you understand why. And in this case, you can watch it. And we can say something about the story of this film, but as I said to you before, the story is totally doesn't matter. It's about this couple and how they try to live together, how they try to do the life, and that's all. Simple, and I don't like the big stories, and we try to minimize all the time the actions, and because I like to spend the time for the faces, for the people, and the emotions, because you will get more, and you understand more them if you can watch them.
Yes, at this time you seem to be very concerned about family matters.
No.
No?
No, the family is a kind of construction, how the people are living, and of course, sometimes the families are happy, sometimes not, but you need too much things to be happy. And it's not only about the family, about the human relationships. And of course, it's a very important, it's all the time it was very important for me to see how the couples are working and how they try life, and it was very interesting because I got a lot of attack at the beginning. I'm a kind of feminist filmmaker who is all the time protecting only the women. And no, I did not protect the women. I just love them. And of course, I saw this kind of macho society. They have less rights, they have less possibility, they get less salary for the same job. They get, you know, it's. And I'm sorry, I'm all the time on the side of the weaker people, and
because in many of your films, women have an important place. I see that in these two previous films we've seen, the excerpt, but also in the Turin Horse. So yes.
And in the Shagantango, in every movie, because you know the world is divided.
Mm-hmm.
Men, women, and we are together, half. You know, it was an old joke. Who is kissing more, the man or the woman?
And?
Who is kissing more? I think it's the same amount. You need for a kiss one man and one woman. Sorry for the gays and lesbians. It's but it's an old joke.
It's also a joke if you say, "I'm sorry, I'm on the side of the people in these difficult situations." You care for them, and it's you have not to be sorry about that. It's just a way to say.
I'm just saying sorry because I'm a polite man. If you wanted to see my unpolite side, I can beat you.
There is a question.
Very, very loud, please.
Okay, let's start. Time. Our life is happening in the time. It's clear. One of our dimension. And as I see, the films are ignoring the time. They are telling to you, the logic of the films are very simple. Action, cut, action, cut. Because they believe the life is full of action. Of course, full of action. But the question is what we call it action. Because for me, you know, everything, not of course not everything, because this is your decision what you show on the movie, on the screen. And this is your decision what you put together. For example, when in The Damnation there is a story, a scene, and we just decided, okay, now we leave this scene, and the camera goes away, and we show a piece of wall or rain or another thing, and then afterwards join back to the scene or later, or leave it absolutely. It's very, very important because one hand, you are creating a kind of, how can I tell you? Sorry, my fucking English is not good enough for this. You know, it's not only the time. It's together something what is happening, and for you is meaningful, and of course has to happen in a time, but we are playing with the time because of course the Turing horse, and it's not a real time, because even if we're using the real time, but afterwards we are jumping or we are ignoring the time. We are playing with the time, but we are showing to you the importance of the time. And of course, in the Shatan Tango, we definitely giving some space just only for the time to show to you it's very, very important things. It's became a part of the universe. Yeah, this the word what I missed. The whole stuff has to be universal. That's why I don't like to speak about particular questions, because the whole stuff is one together. You cannot separate the story. You cannot dividing. You say, okay, now we are talking about the story, or how it's everything has to work together and at the same time and the same moment. You know, when someone is asking me why I'm doing this long takes, or how I'm doing the long takes, which one is the first? The situation, and then I'm composing the camera, or the camera movement, and then afterwards the situation. It's impossible to do separately, because if you are creating first the situation and then you are filming, it's became a theater. And if you are putting the camera first and then create the situation, in this case became a ballet. But you are doing film, and everything has to be together, and you have to feel it. Where is this point when you have to give space for the time? But how can I say? It looks like when you got a recipe from your mother, how you cook, I don't know what. And you go to the market, and you have meat, vegetable, and everything which is on the list. But when you do, it's yours, even if the recipe is your mother's. But you are front of the kitchen with the piece of meat and the vegetables, herbs, and everything, and how much what you give, how you do. It's really depending by you. And you have to taste it, you have to feel it. The filmmaking somehow is the same. And you have to feel it when you are in the set, and when you see someone's face. Even if it was planned, the camera goes away. I'm standing next to the camera is rolling, and the situation goes. And you know, and sometimes I'm touching the camera and I say, stop, wait. Because now something is happening on his eye, and we have to feel it. Because it tells much more than 100 storylines or something. And just keep it, show it. And then you have to feel when the camera has to move again. But it's coming from you, and it's really no recipe anymore. And yeah, the time it's not a philosophical question. Everything is very practical. For me, the filmmaking is a very, very primitive, practical job. You have to do it because, and full of practical things. And I don't like to say this is a kind of art.
Louder.
I have to tell you, I did it some color stuff two. My second film was color. My fourth film was color. And then afterwards I stopped. And the Macbeth was color. And we did a kind of epilogue for the Shattered Tango. For the Hungarian television, it was color too. And we did it something. You know, when I feel, first of all, I don't like so much the color films because since the beginning of 80s, the Kodak changed the material, because before it was celluloid, and from the beginning, or really at the beginning of the 80s, the Kodak had an idea, and they started to produce the film on the polyester, and the colors became different. And it's the green is too green, and the red is too red. Everybody using all the time a lot of filters. Poor cinematographers are fighting with this material because it's really a plastic picture what you can get. And somehow the black and white, it was, when you see a black and white picture, we do not pretending for you this is a kind of reality or naturalistic. It's totally clear, it's artificial, because when you see something in the life, you see colors. But in the black and white picture, you just see white, black, and the grayscale. And it's very important for me what we can hiding. What I learned during of the years, I was brave enough more and more to hiding something in the frame. Just leave it in the black and just giving white and spotlight for the things what is really important for me or for you who is watching the film. But I want to suggesting for you. You know, it's this is somehow the black and white. You can painting a little bit more than with the color film. And the color film is when you can use the color, because the colors could have meaning. In this case, of course, I did it color films, but just because of you can buy it, it's no reason.
Could we come briefly back to the sequence we've seen before? How do you decide, how do you feel to make one shot for the sequence of the man leaving the family? How did you came to this necessity?
Because if you see the family nest, there is a lot of long monologues and a lot of close-ups. When you are just listening for the people, you are just with them, and nothing special. And somehow I started to make it longer and longer takes, because I had a feeling it was very important for me to listening for this psychological process, how is going between them. And if you do this kind of long take, when they are in the situation and they know the camera is rolling, and they cannot escape, they stopped, and they, because the camera is still rolling, and this is when you can, what you can have it in this kind of long take, a special tension and the presence of the actors, and they became not actor anymore because their personality is on the screen in front of the camera, and they are just being, they are show up how they are. And of course, sometimes I'm a really dirty hunter who is just grabbing some real human moments from them. And I show to you, I don't know it's good or not, but this is somehow how it's working.
Dirty Hunter means that filming is a way to be violent?
No, the filmmaker is a dirty job because you are stealing, I'm stealing your soul. And I show your eyes to them, and I show how you are. And you will be naked for them. And everybody knows who are you as a person. Who I am in this case. A shitty, dirty person. You know how it's only one excuse why you can do this. If they really trust you and you love them and you show them with all your tenderness. In this case, you are allowed to do. But the other hand, you are just an ugly, dirty robber who is stealing the real emotions from the people just to sharing with the others. Who are you?
Sorry for this rough question, but it's not a question of money, because you pay the actors, you pay the guys.
If they are doing for the money, you will see what you get.
Go ahead.
How we are working, it's really the last question of the money. Really, believe me. And sometimes no one has contract, really. And no, it's not. It's going because we want to do it together. And you know, the actors giving everything into your hand, and you have to be really, really careful with this because it's a huge responsibility. And it's really.
If we agree, because of this question of time, these pieces of time you're interested in,
but we are already done.
Let's have an example of one piece of time you introducing in one of your films. But questions before? Est-ce qu'il y a une question avant? No? Sorry. Please. Could you get up? It's maybe easier.
First of all, just make it very clear, even if I said I don't like to say art, because I think the art is a kind of judgment, what the people will do maybe 10 years after when you had done your work. But I still thinking the film is the seventh art, not part of the film business and the show business. And I have to tell you, this is a really huge problem because the film industry now, like everything, they have a way of the filmmaking, and they do not understand each film has to have a different way, because each film has a different language. In this case, you have to find, each film has to have a different environment and different conditions. Now the logic is very simple: low budget, middle budget, high budget. And there is a rule, you know, you have rule how you do low budget film, how you do middle budget and high budget. It's not. You have to be strong enough. I'm sorry. You have to learn it. And you have to train your producers and your people how you like to do your movie, how you feel good, because somehow a clever producer who wants to get your movie, your real style, in this case, the clever producer let you free, because you will do your best if you feel your freedom. And in this case, you can do really beautifully. But if they are reducing you, they are all the time telling to you what you have to fulfill, you had done, where is it, you know, it's, in this case, they kill your illusions, your dreams, your imagination, and your fantasy, and everything which is gives the herbs of your work. You know, maybe the work will be done, but will be fucked up. And of course, it has to be a deal. You have to be adult, and you have to know you are responsible for the figures. And that's what I'm telling to my students. Okay, guys, here is a figure. Because when sometimes they are coming, they say they need 2 white elephants flying into the room, you know, and it could happen. But I say, here is the figure. We agreed. It's cost like this. It's your business. Do how you want. I don't care. Please do it on your way. But please listening, this figure has to not, please do not cross the border.
What do you mean by figure?
The number, how much is the film?
The cost?
Yeah.
Okay. Budget?
Yeah. No, I don't care if you change inside of the budget. Just by the end, you know, because otherwise we are bankrupt. And the next production will be fucked up because we have, you know.
But when you say, please do not cross the border, which
just
border?
Do not spend more than
okay.
the budget. But you can change everything. Because you have to feel, you know better how you want to do your movie. And the good producer is just joining to you and asking you, what do you want? And spoiling you and treat you as the most talented person around the world, and just to take care of you because you need love.
Do you need love?
Every filmmaker needs love.
Do you need love as well?
Sure. But unfortunately, I don't do more movies. In this case, give your love to the others.
Yeah?
Yes, maybe we should go to the next excerpt.
Vous êtes d'accord? You agree? Huh? Let's see something. Okay.
So this is taken from the Harmony Werkmeisters, and it was made in 2001.
It's a fairy tale.
Fairy tale.
understand something, because if I see only this, I'm sure I don't understand
But
anything.
anyway, you said you don't want to have told the stories of the films, and in this
Yeah.
film, it's anyway impossible to summarize it. The story is unbelievable, and you can't understand it.
It's a fairy tale, but no reason to talk about. Maybe if you do this way to show something to entertaining the people, in this case, better to show the first scenes, the introduction, because in this case they wanted to see it. But if I see this, I surely don't go to the cinema, because it's a badly directed scene, really horrible director's work. Can you believe each Hong Kong action movie, it's much better. They know much better how they can do an action scene. It's stupid, ugly. Really, I don't understand.
For us, it's very interesting to
I
show
really
when
don't
you're failing.
understand.
You're failing.
I
That's
really
interesting.
don't understand how you could see this dilettante shit. It is definitely. Each action director can do it better, but somehow.
But you have it in your film. It's a part
Yeah.
of the film.
I did not throw it out. That's true.
I think you should also not say that, because it's also the freedom of the spectator to think what they want about this scene.
No, the freedom of the spectator to go to the cinema, buy a ticket, sit, watch,
But
and leave when they want. But this is almost the middle of the film.
But can we say that sometimes you're looking for something in your takes, and you find sometimes what you're looking for. Some other times you miss it, and I don't know.
What?
Sometimes you're shooting something, you're looking for something in your shots, and do you find every time what you're looking for in your shots, or do you miss what you're looking for?
May I say something? If I understand, if I go to the set and I wanted to do something, and did I have it all the time or not? Of course not. Sometimes, because it could happen in a several reasons. Sometimes I was stupid, and I had a strong vision what I want to do it, and I had to recognize the people are not the same what I was believed, or the situation doesn't work what I was created. But when you are there, you have to feel it immediately. It's wrong, fake, but you will see in the eyes of your actors or your, I don't know, characters, because mostly they are not professionals, but you can see immediately if something is wrong, if you create a bad situation, and if you create a bad camera movement and it's disturbing, not true. It's, of course, could happen, of course. But the main issue is, do you have enough sensibility to see it and recognize and stop it, and to say, okay, sometimes when I did this kind of stupidity, I say, okay, now, coffee break, go away, guys, and I'm sitting there and you have to find something because everybody is there and you have to do.
How many times did you shoot this scene?
This scene. It was difficult because of the. It was a part, a door, where the camera all the time beat it, and we had to stop. I think it was 7 or 8 times.
And I don't know what you think, but two very important moments are happening at least in this scene, this shitty scene, to mention you. The moment where this naked man in the bathtub
It's
is
a kind
facing.
of popular.
At this moment, something is happening. Don't you think so? Don't you feel? I felt that. And then, of course, the end of the shot with the man, his eyes looking on what happened, the main character in the film. Don't you think you're successful in these two moments of the shot?
If I don't like this take, I never cut in the film. It's sure. You have to know. I never give out anything from my hand until when I do not say it's perfect and it's mine. I don't care if you say it's a shit but I have to feel it. It's done, and I have to feel it. That's what I really want. Not happened accidentally. I remember when we were watching when the Werkmeister was ready, and we put it the last take on the right place, and we were watching the whole movie the first time. It was a work sound, it was a really bad sound, but we saw it, the picture, and we saw it, the scene and the whole movie from the beginning till the end. And I was totally happy, and I said, okay, it's done. What?
Like in architecture, louder, we can't.
I don't hear you.
Could you get up, Kari? Just wait for the microphone. Yeah.
Bon, je vais parler en français, je suis désolé. Ok. Quand vous parlez de, si j'ai bien compris, de... Yeah, but okay, I won't speak in English. It's same. When you speak of perfect, the word perfect you used, you want to doing something perfect. You wait and you decide to doing that. But I think it's like a job in architecture. Architecture. But it's not, for me, it's not negative point. For you
until when the buildings are standing, it's not negative.
C'est très ambigu, c'est très paradoxal. It's very paradoxal because for me the war is not perfect. It's not. C'est le désordre. And how you have the power to doing that, to be very organized, so very perfect.
I have to tell you, everybody hates me because I was perfectionist, and they hate when I said after the 12th take, I said, okay, one more. And they wanted to kill me because, it's... When you do something, you don't want to be perfectionist. You just know what you want to do, and you know what you want to achieve. You know what you want to see, as I told you, on his eye. And if I don't get, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe he's bad for this, or maybe we are together not okay, or I don't know, But one thing is sure, I know I need his presence. If I cannot get, in this case, the whole building collapse, because it's not a question of the perfectionism, the question of the truth. The truth. do you see the truth on his eye? In this case, you are safe. You don't care a lot of, you can make a lot of mistakes, doesn't matter, but the truth has to be there. Even if I said it's a dilettante work, I say myself.
So another question. To cut off from the budget, a lot of people uses digital cameras nowadays, but it gives digital cameras and it gives a little bit artificial or more fake view. What do you think about digital filmmaking?
Yeah. No, it's, you know, I made all the time, all stuff what we did, it was 35 millimeter or 60 millimeter, but all the time it was celluloid. I did it only two things for the Hungarian television, the Macbeth and this journey on the plane. The others were film. And for me, the film is film. It means celluloid, and it means projector, and you can touch it as a material. The digital technology could be a new language. And my problem is now with this, the people, it's still with my students because we are working with some digital camera too. And I do not like, and I have more and more problem with when we are using with the digital technology as a fake film. It's really, we are using the digital camera as a film camera, but it's not. It's a different material. It could be a different language, could be a new possibility, a new future. It should be a new revolution, not to just to using like the film camera. Because the film is film. And I don't, if you want to make a film, please shoot on the film. And if you want to do something on this language, use it this. And I'm crossing my fingers for somebody who finally found the right way how to use the digital technology. Because now it's still not on the right place. This is my feeling now.
Could you point out one or two differences between film and digital?
It's a huge difference. For example, when you show this picture, I could say this is not a picture. It's not a picture because it was shot for film, and if you wanted to see the right quality of the picture, you have to see it. First of all, you feel it's more rich and more detailed, and you lose 1/3 of the picture when you watch my stuff on the DVD or some other way. Digital, it's not. But I can believe you can do a different picture with your digital camera. I don't know. I have to tell you, I bought a digital photo camera. Before I never had. And I really don't know. I don't like to touch it, or I'm afraid, or maybe I have a feeling I wanted to use it as a normal photo camera, or maybe I'm totally wrong because there is a lot of option. I do not understand anything, just full of, signs, and you have to push this or this or this or this, and a lot of things happening with your picture. And I don't understand why. And maybe someone who is understand can use it and can show something differently.
And in your school, what do your students use?
Yeah, I said to you, this is my problem now, because we don't have enough money to have it the real good film equipment. What we are using now, red cameras and digital sheet. But I have an editing table in Budapest, and when we finally, the main problem is now not the camera or not the film material, the lab, because the film laboratories are dying, and they don't have very few lab is good now, and very few lab is working with the film. They do not work.
You have a question?
I have nothing to do with film, and I'm not a professional. But my question is learning in general. If people today use only digital, how can they learn to make a film and don't use the real material?
I don't know. Theoretical question. You know what I think? Everything has the right material. Michelangelo touched this marble, and there is the David. And I can believe if someone, not Michelangelo, has a piece of paper and can do something which is also meaningful. It's not a question of, the tools by the end. The question of you. Are you brave enough to say what you really want? Are you strong enough? Or you are socialized by the producers and the production system, or you are strong enough to do what you really want. And if about the school, I have to tell you, I'm proud because I'm capable to protect them. And in my opinion, and we surely do not agree, I don't want to educate anyone. I want to liberate them. I wanted to give them a chance to be themselves, to find their own language. And of course, they have to find their own material and the authentic way how they are saying something in the 21st century. Don't forget, I'm from the last century. I'm not. I'm a past. And here is the future. And
Hey,
I'm just sharing my old ugly memories,
Hey man, we have the same age. I'm not a filmmaker, but what makes you think that we have prisoners here? Our students are prisoners in your eyes? What do you say?
What?
You said, I wouldn't agree with you in terms of liberation of the students. Do you think our students are prisoners?
No, but I haven't seen them yet. They are silent.
So now we have a little surprise for the students, the film students.
Little surprise, short one.
Entertainment. Wet. Don't you think somewhere from here? You have to feel the heat. Don't feel the heat.
I mean, it's Hungary, you know. We're not so many high ones.
But we have.
We have
hills. We have hills. Under 1,000 we have a lot. Tamás, várjatok még egy picit, még előtt még 200 kilót is.
You know what I think? If we are closer, we just lose the view. Maybe it is better if we are further, because we can see the line.
Jan, ide, ahol a Fred ül. Van egy szög.
Nem egy ős emberek.
Jó, akkor ezt a bűnnelládát itt hagyjuk izének, jelnek, jó?
Jó.
Vagy a jel most leüt egy karót.
Csak már először a ládát, ne üld át, ládát ne üld át.
You need the camera here?
Gyere! Such a good eye. Oh, yeah. Oh, stop.
Leave it here.
Jó.
Ez az.
Ne stopolj.
I think here's a better camera position.
Ez nem vicc, mert viccek erős lenne.
You know, Yasurio Zoo is pretty definitely on the
Már háború lesz belőle.
A Kamera temetése című kisfilm megy. Mondom, a Kamera temetése című kisfilm megy.
The camera. This is my last movie. That's why we have to do the funeral.
It's enough or?
I think we have to do deeper.
Vagy mennyire van behúzva, azt nem tudom. Mennyire van behúzva.
Oh, this one. Can we have the stupid bush? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Jó, sok. Vissza. Jó. És innentől kell a földet fújni.
Hát ezért nem kellett volna. De hogy nem hagyjuk.
the entertainment is done. What is the question?
She has a very good question for you.
Well, let's talk about the wind.
You saw it.
What is the wind for you? Because the wind is almost a character in this film.
Yeah, the nature. When we talked about the time, we can talk about the nature, you know, wind, rain.
Animals.
For example. And because it's also a part of our life. And finally, I founded this word. Our ambition, it was to think a little bit universal and a little bit, and we have to be at the same time very concrete and very pragmatic, you know. And this is, one hand, everything is very real, and the other hand, the structure and how the way of the thinking, it's restructuring the things, and it should be, in a good case, or luckily, or accidentally, could be universal. But it's somehow a kind of goal. The nature is very important, of course, because we are living in a nature, even if we are destroying all the time. We are living in a time, space, air. It's nature.
But what do you mean when you say very pragmatic? You said...
Because everything is concrete. If you are a writer, you can write about these glasses more than 20 pages. But when you are a filmmaker, you can make only, these glasses became so concrete. And you have to use it, the concrete, concrete things, and of course, you have to build up a kind of atmosphere and relationship for these glasses, and which gives some meaning for these glasses. A little bit more than just a simple glass.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? We are about to end this meeting with Béla, but we have at least 2 or 3 more questions. Very good questions.
Go ahead.
I have one. Where do you have experienced the most pleasure in filmmaking? I mean, in preparing, writing, in shooting, in editing, post-production. Where are you the most happiest man in the world?
I don't know. It's all the time. You know, when I'm happy, I could say I'm never happy, and I could say I'm all the time happy, because it's when you do, it's good. It's a good feeling, and of course you are full of troubles, and you're full of difficulties, and full of problems, and everybody is just coming to you with the problems, and of course everybody expecting from you, you have to solve it, you have to be the father of everybody, and of course you can achieve and you can get a lot of emotions, a lot of love, and a lot of good things from the people. It's good, you know, I could say I was lucky to work with those people, these people, and it's really a gift for me, and because without them all films did not existing, definitely. It's not, we are talking all the time, it's running under my name, but here it was a group of people. And it was Agnes Ronitsky, it was Laszlo Krasnorka, it was Mihai Vig, and sometimes some cinematographers, and we were working together, and it's our movies. And if you see the credits, but you never show it because you are just showing all the time the middle of the film, and you see on the credit it's telling to you it's our movie. You never see any credit which is written a film by Béla Tarr, no, a film by us. And I was happy because I had a good company, good people, good problems. You know, that's the life.
The question of the team was one of the questions, Mark, we wanted to do, but we have no time for it. But we know, we wanted to mention the team you have been in making films. You're working in a team.
Of course, you cannot do it film alone. You need partners. And not only, okay, this was the artistic crew, but I have to tell you, I made all my movies with the same dolly guy. And I was working with him 35 years, and he was pushing the dolly, and we became old together, you know.
Can't he push anymore?
He can, okay. But his back is paining, and, you know.
Another question, Béla, about us spectators. How much do you believe in us? How much do you trust us? How much do you love us?
I don't trust you, but if I don't trust you as a spectator, in this case, no reason to do. Really, because this is not a narcissistic stuff, really. You can, even if you can do it on this way, but you have a responsibility. Because even if how I was talking about the production and the money, hey, we are using first of all your money, your tax money for the films. And it means I have a kind of responsibility. I'm wasting your money. In this case, I have to really give to you something. And this is one reason why I have to do my best. And the other reason why I have to do my best is because I'm afraid from you. And I believe you are much more intelligent, much more clever, much more sensible than me. And I have to do my big, huge effort to fulfill your high expectation. And and I'm serious. I'm not cynical now. I'm serious. If you do not believe minimum the same level on the seats, in this case, no reason to do. No reason to do. Really, don't touch it, the camera. And I'm really want to vomiting when the film business people are talking, want to entertaining the people, and they treated the people as kids. And they say they do not understand. They do not, they are not capable to watching this. And you know how they are treating the audience. And no, the people are adult, and the people are clever and sensible. I am 100% sure, and you cannot convince me any other way.
Béla, we have to ask the question. You mentioned it in this short film. Why did you decide to not make any films anymore?
That was his last question.
No.
His life. Man, Google.
We are not Google here. We are real.
Yeah, but you know what? You are the 15,000th
I know,
who is asking
but
me.
I have to. It's my job to ask the question here for the audience. I'm sure everybody wants to know right now something about this
no
big
one has
decision.
Google.
Huh? If you don't want to.
I'm sure you know the answer.
No, I don't know.
Please tell me, who knows my answer? Okay, please tell them. I give you the microphone. Please come and tell.
You don't want to repeat yourself. Thank you. You're great. So, go ahead. That's the public. That's, the people of the street. Come on.
Are you joking? Can you believe the people on the street? Go to the train station and ask them, is it a problem for them? Do I do a new movie or not? I'm sure they don't care.
This lady asked a question.
Yeah, I know.
And we care, so.
Yeah.
And
I can tell you, I wanted to see you right. Really, I think I was totally clear. First of all, during of the 34 years, I had done what I want. And I said, after the Turing horse, I had a feeling, because the language and the way of the filmmaking, it's ready. I had a feeling the work is done, ready, and no reason. And I had a feeling if I touch it again, the camera, and using my film language, which it was used for discovering, challenging, And the language, it was all of my, it was somehow the achievement of all of my experiments and research and challenge. Really, this is the best word. And if I'm using this language, again, I had the feeling it's a kind of repetition. And I don't want you to see the copies of what I had done already. And I had the feeling I said everything what I want. I can't say more. I can talk here, but to touching a camera is a little bit more serious for me. And I wanted to save it and take care of what I had done. And yeah, the filmmaking is a kind of nice bourgeois job, You can do it till end of your life. You can make it new movies. Yeah, easy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your attention.
Have you, it's not completely finished. Have you heard somewhere somebody saying, the more desperate we are, the more hope we can find, we can have? Do you know this sentence? I repeat it. The more desperate we are, the more hope we can have. And we will give an end to this meeting. Thank you very much. With something giving desperation and hope. Okay?
Watch it, the films. Don't be sophisticated, please.
Oh!